A new study finds that most coronavirus enhancers boost immunity, although there is no hope of winning. The first study directly comparing COVID-19 boosters found that most shots improved immune responses in fully vaccinated people. But there is no obvious winner to help make a decision. In terms of a best booster, there is no definitive winner, but there are some losers. SVB Leerink analysts told investors on Friday. The research, which was published Thursday in The Lancet, assessed booster shots in about 2,900 people in the UK. It compared a mix of full and half doses of the vaccines developed by BioNTech SE-BNTX. -1.35% and Pfizer Inc. PFE, +1.60%, Novavax Inc. NVAX, +4.28%, and Valneva SE-VLN, +1.45%, as well as a full dose of the AstraZeneca, +1.43%, +0.51%, CureVac CVAC, +0.36%, Johnson Johnson J&J, +1.35%, and Moderna Inc. mRNA, -1.02% shot. The participants in the UK clinical trial were all fully vaccinated with either AstraZeneca's vaccine or Comirnaty, BioNTech and Pfizer's shot. The study only included people older than 30 years old who have never tested positive for the virus. In short, nearly all of the vaccines in the study produced an immune response among the participants, though the type of response differed. According to the SVB Leerink analysts, a full dose of Moderna's vaccine produced the highest antibody titers. Novavax's shot was the best tolerated. In terms of side effects, the JJ shot drove up T cells more than the others. A point of particular interest now that there are concerns that the Omicron variant can reduce antibody protection. Comirnaty, the analysts told investors, is the decathlete of the group, based on how it generates both antibody and T cell response. And, finally, as stated, AstraZeneca's shot doesn't do very much as a booster among people already immunized with the same vaccine. The authors of the study recommended that policymakers and national immunization committees establish criteria for choosing which booster vaccines to use in their populations. The US is not doing this, at least at this time. Mixing and matching COVID-19 shots has been allowed by the Food and Drug Administration since October. That means, for example, that people who got the single-shot JJ vaccine can choose between a second JJ jab or a booster dose of Comirnaty or Moderna's vaccine. The decision to allow mixing and matching vaccines in the US stems from a preliminary study, also called a preprint, that was conducted by National Institutes of Health. That research found that antibody levels were highest from a Moderna booster, then Pfizer, and then JJ. However, the study wasn't designed to compare the vaccine combination. For Americans seeking guidance about which booster to get, the US has stopped short of telling people what is the best booster based on their primary vaccination series, and is instead encouraging people to sign up for whatever shot they choose. We will not articulate a preference, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said October 22. My understanding is that most people will have done largely well with the initial vaccine that they got and may express a preference. Very much. For the original vaccine series they got, there may be some people who might prefer another vaccine over the one that they received, and the current CDC recommendations now make that possible. That said, federal health officials in the US continue to urge people who were vaccinated before June to get a booster shot. There's every reason to believe that if you get vaccinated and boosted that you would have at least some degree of cross-protection, very likely against severe disease, even against the Omicron variant, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the president's chief medical advisor, said during a press briefing on Friday. Read more of MarketWatch's coverage about COVID-19 boosters. People who got JJ's COVID-19 shot can get a booster. Which one should they get? Hey race, why COVID-19 booster shots are good for business. Allowing people to mix COVID-19 vaccines could cut into Pfizer and Moderna's revenue next year.